There we go.
I am calling up the lesson as we speak,
Remember the old days of papers and
right? I
files?
struggle with that, not printing, not using paper, but I like paper. And then something like this happens, and it's so easy just to say, I'll just go call up the lesson.
Mhm.
If you print it, I'll go get it.
Okay, I think.
Congressman.
Advent Bible Study. Week 4. So let's go find week 3. Week 3 is joy.
The pink candle.
The pink candle.
I always thought that was the Mary's candle.
It is.
It is.
I mean, and that comes from this Sunday. I focused on the joy that comes from Mary's Magnificat, which Matthew 1 verses,
Well,
is that where it started? 35 to 48. That was Mary's prayer. Look, Matthew wasn't it?
No,
No,
Luke.
it's Luke. Okay, Luke, what?
146 through that's it. 46 through 55.
Okay. Why don't we read that? That's a great, because the candle is pink, as tradition called it Mary's candle, pink for the Virgin Mary. And this is the prayer that Mary prayed when she got to Elizabeth's house and she felt the baby move. And I actually, B, you want to start and everybody just read a line or so?
okay. So it says, I'm going to start with 45. Blessed is she who has believed that what the Lord has said to her will be accomplished. And Mary said, my soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has been mindful of his humble state of his servant.
Look, from now on, everyone will consider me highly favored, because the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name.
Show mercy from generation to generation to all.
He has performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their most innermost thoughts.
He has brought down the mighty from their thrones and exalted those of humble estate. He has filled the hungry with good things and sent the rich away with empty hands.
He has helped Israel, his servant, remembering his mercy.
According to the promise he made to our ancestors, to Abraham and to his descendants forever.
Mary.
Miranda dropped off the series. And Mary remained with her about 3 months and then returned to home.
Did it actually sing that part? It says Mary's song, but is there a...
There are multiple sung versions, yes.
Magnificat?
Right. And it starts out, my soul magnifies the Lord. And I charged the congregation this past Sunday to, before your feet ever hit the floor, or you get out of bed, to let your first words out loud be, my soul magnifies the Lord. So let's take a minute. This actually fits right into the lesson. And we'll just do it table by table. Why don't you all, and I'll come over here for a minute, but in your journals or wherever, think of a way that in, say, the last month, you can say, my soul, me, the interior me that lives in my heart that God created, magnified the Lord by what?
Good idea.
Thank you. Hold on a second. Just give me a second, Mary Ellen.
You know, the Lord tells you to do something. The Lord told me about 2 months ago. And
Mary Ellen, write out how your soul magnified the Lord somehow in the past month.
and I went, and had made some, money. And what I'm so interested. Where's the- And I said, next time. Yes, right, it's nice, totally casual, like, this is just. And some short started. Oh, they're betting at each other. So I felt like I heard people that. It's hard to take. I'm out of the box. I enjoyed that. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware of it. And couple of people that came. And I just kind of been outside. Well, and that would be next week. Or come sing with me. Sorry, right? Absolutely. First thing. You would have to. Yeah. So, burning that's supposed to be. Yeah, we did.
Dorothy. Thank you.
And all the things that are going on.
I already made one trip. I've forgotten to hit P. Why are you laughing?
So I will say, I'll tell a story. No, I just want to say, she's always, trying to she room to start with that. She's done.
Thank you.
It's fine.
Okay, so
She has neighbors.
Mary, you want to share how you magnified the Lord?
I'm totally glad.
Well, I would say coming to Bible studies one way.
So we were talking about,
Okay, I mean, seriously.
and, I told her I feel like God talks to me and guides me.
Everybody,
Or gives him the right. Yes.
hi. I called us back to order, but we didn't come back to order.
So,
The only person who came back to order was Mary.
so Nora says, well, if my telltale is if he tells me something and I ignore it, and it doesn't come back around again, it's probably not from him. But if it comes back around, then it probably is from him going, hey, I told you, I told you about this before. Listen up this time. So.
Kathy and I are doing Christmas cards for the shut-ins for our church.
Oh, thank you.
We're on that this morning.
So there is a magnifying of the Lord that will be received by every person that you send a Christmas card to.
Shut-ins.
Yes,
We do this about every month now.
that's wonderful. So you see how the Lord, the presence, the blessing, the gift of God, God's love and peace and joy are magnified through what you're doing or have done or getting ready to do.
To write a little message.
Yeah,
That brightens their day.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. How about you, Mary Ellen?
My soul magnifies God by trusting Him in everything.
Okay, let's back up though. I want you to come up with a concrete thing you did in the last month.
I was in charge with my group of golden achievers, taking 100 stockings
There you
to
go.
the nursing home.
When what I'm talking about here is when we say my soul magnifies the Lord, is being deliberate in the world seeing something. We all do, Mary Ellen, trust and love, but Mary was getting ready to show the entire world what love is through a very obvious pregnancy. So we are writing cards to shut-ins. We've taken stockings to the nursing home. Adria? Donating to the homeless. So somebody finds God or at least sees a little bit of peace because of what you've done. Diane?
Well, I was saying, when I get up in the morning, before anything, I say the Lord's Prayer. And then I go into my prayer room and I do the, devotions and all that. But for some reason, a lot of times I'll have negative thoughts and I don't know why. Like, why did this person say this? Or why did they do that? And then I'm like, wait, and my favorite verse is Philippians 4:8, whatever's true, whatever's lovely, think. So then I think of these things and how the Lord has helped me. And so then I just try to honor by living a life of, faith and gratitude. And like, I had a Bible study for like over 10 years that I facilitated. And
That's a huge magnifying of your soul by doing the Bible study like that to everybody that you reached.
So anyway, they all like went to the church and stuff. So I don't see them that often, but I just invited them all over for lunch on Fridays.
Well, good. How about you, Marilyn?
Hey, first of all, I started off with something more personal that kind of fit in with today's joy.
Okay,
But
wonderful.
now that I'm looking that I have to talk about something concrete, I guess the angel tree.
Okay,
Being able to take the time and really be thankful for the fact that I was able to do that and that somebody is going to hopefully be made happier because of that.
Right, right.
But the joy that I feel internally and that I'm so thankful for, and I say it out loud, is watching the faith increase in my. It's been marvelous. So,
There you go.
Thank you.
Miss Dorothy?
Oh. I would say, well, that school started working with the kids on Wednesday afternoon. Cause I felt like at times that, I wasn't getting through, or they weren't listening, or they,
Both.
which they weren't, but then I see little glimpses of things, and I think something's registering. I don't know what it is, but there's something that they're keeping and they're realizing. I guess
Mhm.
that's one of the biggest things that I've been
Good.
for the Lord.
Kathy?
I think mine was, first of all, I have to say I complained about it. But yesterday, I got so honest. I got to myself and to God, I complained I don't want to get too much, I'm over it. But yesterday I got up and I worked with the parents morning out, those little faces, little friends, I mean, that just warmed my heart. And then when they lift their little hands for you to pick them up, and then going yesterday to the food pantry, I mean, it just.
You had a full day. Wow.
And it.
But do you see God being magnified through you to each one of them? And this is what happened with Mary. God was magnified through her availability. And she just didn't say, all right, God, whatever.
That was really good.
Yeah.
You want me to do what?
Yeah. She grabbed onto the opportunity and celebrated it. My soul magnifies the Lord. Russell and Sarah?
Just driving by and seeing the kids out, like realizing giving them boxes of and meals, things like that.
Yes.
And then seeing some TV that very needy and realizing stuff. Giving them some of them without a jacket. Probably really more playing that. I needed mine in the car. I was glad that we had provided them.
There you go. God is being magnified through that.
Well, mine's kind of weird. A couple of months ago, Lord kept telling me to invite some of my neighbors up. And,
That'd be like, really, God?
well, it kept coming up, and it kept coming up, especially in my quiet time. And there never was a good time. And then 2 weeks ago, I guess, on a Friday morning, I got up and I had already made some banana bread and some other things. And I thought, okay, I feel stupid doing this, but I'm going to call these people and say, I want to have a little get together today. In other words, this is informal. I want you to come as you are. Don't bring anything. One of the friends said, one of the people at our back door said, well, I'll bring some. I said, no. I said, this is for us to interact. I have a few refreshments, but it's not about the food. Okay? And it was so amazing. Almost everyone I called, on the spur of the moment. And the last people I called, I literally went across the street to some folks that we talked to briefly, but haven't really gotten to have a good relationship yet. And I knocked on their door at 3:00 in the afternoon, and this thing was supposed to start at something like, knocked on their door, told them about it, and said, I said, come as you are. And they looked at me and they said, really? I said, yeah, it's just going to be fun. Get to know. And they showed up, you know. So, some friendships were made. I feel like some connections were made that may pay off later. And I'm really into being a friend to people. And it's amazing how sometimes that leads to people being more aware of the Lord. And
Yes.
realizing.
That is,
So it was weird, but it happened.
It-
It was fun.
but
had
it
fun.
was, you see how your soul is magnifying the Lord to those people.
We had the admin. Yeah. It- so we got
There you go. Feel free to get some more copies from Michelle. Even to read just the last week.
Yeah. You never know what people are going to notice.
Right. Right. Miss B?
Well, I was telling them I don't always know if I hear. I know that God's always with me and He's always guiding me and protecting me and giving me guidance. But sometimes I don't give Him the glory because I think, oh yeah, I did this, or it's my to-do list, and you know, I'm getting my to-do list done. But today we worked with Nora and got 20 fruit baskets done to take to shut-ins sometime this week before the bananas get too ripe. And so she was saying that God had really laid on her heart to do this. And I said, but how do you know when He's really telling me that? And not just, you know, she said, well, if He tells me to do something and I don't do it, and if it doesn't come back around to me, then it's probably not Him, it's probably my head, not my heart. And she said, but if it comes back around again, then it's probably it's Him talking to me. So
There you go.
she just said she had felt, you know, really longed to do this. She loved to put things together and make special things, and this was one of them. So it was just working with her this morning and being able to deliver those. Just
Well, mine is a little off the cuff or beaten path or whatever the right word is. My grandson and I had date night last Tuesday. We go once a month, and he loves to go to Tam's restaurant in Cumming. And we were seated in one of the booths, and as we were being seated, he spied one of those little Jesus figures on the windowsill right there. And we talked about that, and he had found one somewhere else in the grocery store or something, so I was using it kind of as a teaching moment. And when we got ready to leave, he says, Nana, do you think you could buy me some of these so I could leave them in places all around where I go? Nana would take a second job to buy. Yeah. So Mary was the most unlikely of candidates to be a recipient and then to be the one that would be standing and out loud saying what she did. We forget sometimes that the people in the Bible are not just biblical characters. That's the exact right word. Thank you. I mean, Mary would have come from extremely poor circumstances, living in rough housing, and hers would not have been an easy life that she'd had up to that point. Certainly nothing like any one of our kids had. And then imagine any one of us, with the exception of Russell, at age 13, having to say, Mom, I think I'm pregnant. And see, back then, she could have been stoned. This was a huge deal. But when we take all of that into account, it's God telling us that through that love starts at the bottom of the pile, for lack of a better word. That's not a really good word. At the bottom class of folks, God's love is there, and it is spreading up through each and every one of us. And that in Mary's words is the charge to us to take that out. So we talked about what you've done, just maybe individually for 2 or 3 minutes, not long. What can you do between now and the end of the year? What is one thing that maybe you felt a nudge to do that your soul would be magnifying the Lord? Even if it's baking cookies for the kids next door. So what is something that maybe you've been called to do or is on your heart to do that where you can say, God, I am going to magnify you in the next 2 weeks by doing this?
I have a friend who lost her husband this year, and she's far away. She's in California, and but she's really lonely. And so I have been on, like you said, you feel these things over and over again.
Right?
To reach out to her and just talk. That would certainly would do my heart well. I hope it would her as well.
There you go. What can you do, Kathy?
Could reach out to my neighbor more. I don't, but I should.
So pick one and take a plate of cookies over. Maybe put a little Jesus on it.
Yeah.
I bought enough for us to have some here in the office too. They should be here today. But or just a note, God bless you, or something that includes God. And you don't even have to, well, nowadays with crazies out there, I would hand it to somebody. If the doorbell rang and there was a plate of cookies on the ground, I would not eat them. I mean, you just don't know.
That's true.
Yeah. How about you, Marilyn? What could you do? One little thing to magnify the Lord.
This to me is big.
Big things are good.
I've been nudged for a long time to give up so much stuff in my closet to be able to give away because there are so many needy people and I don't need all this clothes.
That's a big
So,
thing.
In the next 2 weeks,
You'll start the purge.
I'll probably have to get hit on the head to do that, but that's what I would like to be able to ask him to
There
help
you
me
go.
do.
There you go. What a beautiful thing. And you benefit, and so do the people that don't have enough, that are grateful for everything that we take out of our closets and allow them to put in theirs.
My brother, I have a brother, two brothers. My brother that passed, his birthday's the 23rd. So every year I'm donating money in his memory to the rehab center in Lewistown, Montana, which is where he was when he died.
There you go. And you're going to keep up that tradition.
Yep. And my brother, another brother, sent some money to the ambulance, and my mom, I do the senior center, and my dad, I do the food pantry. Montana.
Great. Mary Ellen, what could you do that's...
My little yard man has been sick, and I'm going to take him some groceries.
There you go. What a beautiful thing. You can take him a little Jesus too.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, they should come to the house today, so we'll have some here in the office. Adria, something,
I'll reach out to a friend that's going through some hard times after death of her daughter years ago.
there you go. Yeah. Take a meal, take a plate of cookies, take a couple of Bible verses, just, yeah,
Just company, maybe.
just company. There you go. Yeah. Diane?
I've been thinking about getting, the ladies in my neighborhood to come over, like for an impromptu thing. Sarah said, just, come on over. I mean, there might be, wine involved, but. But anyway.
I'm in.
So just to get to, some camaraderie.
Remember that people see God in us way more often than we see God in ourselves.
But isn't that more of a judgment on their part?
No,
You don't think so?
mm-mm. I mean, there's some that would judge by that, but no, I don't see it that way.
Say that again.
I don't see somebody saying, oh, that's a God coming to Diane's house and saying, this is a God-centered home. I don't see that as judgmental.
I think people are lonely and they appreciate reaching out to them because, we tend to keep to ourselves and we don't want to bother and we don't want to be, meddling in people's lives. And so everybody just
Right?
stays home by themselves and, we live in our bubble. And a lot of people are needing, some time with someone else.
Right. Right.
It's a good thought about
Mhm.
being lonely right now this time, especially.
And to follow up on Dorothy and then your question, people who use the label of, well, that's a God-fearing lady.
But that look,
Yeah,
but see, if they said it nicely or as a praise, then that would be one
right.
thing.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. There's praise, there is judgment.
Oh, yeah.
There are those, that call you a Bible thumper. There are those that are judging, but remember, judge not lest ye be judged. That God will settle that somehow.
And sometimes those people who make those statements are really being impacted and they're trying to push it away.
Yes, agreed.
Because I've known folks that pushed real hard,
Mhm.
but finally realized.
Yeah.
Jesus said.
How about you, Sarah?
Well, I
you've
have another-
already done a biggie.
Well, I have another weird thing. I mean, you give to charity, donate things, you do all that. That's just part of what you do in the fall. But honey, I haven't told you about this one. Periodically, I take stuff to the Hall County Animal Shelter.
Mhm.
And people forget about animals. And this is one of the times of the year when
They
people
need
get
it.
puppies and then they take them back.
Oh.
And so I'm gonna collect some stuff for the animal shelter. And I'll probably put a thing out on our Facebook and say, I'm doing this, anybody, and just put a big, one of my totes out on the,
Mhm.
want to bring stuff. But they need stuff like, they love toys for the animals, but even more importantly, they need old towels and things like that. So blankets, money. Hall County Animal Shelter actually has a program where you can donate a certain amount, and they're trying to buy these cots for all the animals to be up off the floor. And on their website, it tells you how to do it. So anyway, I think
Wow.
I'm gonna do some.
Oh, there's a thing right there we could do.
Let me know when you do that. I have a couple, I like this old blanket. It's, what do you call it? Like when you go camping.
Yes, okay.
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay,
That would be good for a dog.
bring it Sunday,
Okay.
cause I'll do it. That sound good, huh? He says once again.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's dangerous words in my house.
Mine too.
I was thinking, yes, in the office.
How about you, B? What's,
Well, I just don't know. Maybe I'll clean out my closet. The only thing coming in today, something that's been, I've noticed is that we do not have a thrift store here in Flowery Branch. To my
Yes, we do,
knowledge.
we do have.
We do.
In Flowery Branch?
On Sign and Design. Oh,
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's fairy dust.
No.
Fairy dust.
Yeah, but she makes money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But all
consignment.
the thrift stores make money.
Well,
Well, there's
but
the-
it's for. Yeah, but you don't donate your clothes. You can, I guess, donate your clothes to her, but you get money back from that.
Well, I've donated and I've told her just keep it. you
Right.
know.
So,
So she does accept donations.
so
She
anyway,
does
that
sell
was
them.
one thing. So instead of starting one, which was also in the thought process, but I really can't put
Have in
that
the
scope in
closet.
there. But maybe I'll just go through and clean out my closet.
But that's a good idea.
We can do it together.
Okay,
Once there was a
I need to do
Yes.
it. Since I really just-
right.
Oh, yeah.
You just moved into your
Yeah.
house.
What's that got to
Didn't you
do
clean
with
out
it?
your closet when you moved?
Not,
Like you should.
not like I should have. I mean, after all, I will be a size 5 again. There's no doubt. So there's a lot of those that I just don't really need.
My sister, she passed now, but she had a thing with the church and it was for clothing and stuff like that. And she called it God's Hands Extended. And it's just,
I mean, I even looked at places to do it on the ride over here this morning. So I mean, it was kind of like, okay, Lord, I hear you, but I just can't.
Well, clothing I would love to donate, and I've been hesitant to donate it anywhere because
yeah.
I'm really not sure about Goodwill and some other things, and some of it's good stuff.
All right, let me make a suggestion.
I mean, really good.
You can go to the consignment shops and sell it, and then take the money you make off of it.
There
and
you
give
go.
it To
Oh,
whatever charity of choice that you would like. Because if you give it to certain organizations, they're gonna make.
Right.
Just, I've done that.
well, that's smart.
One that's really solid is St. Paul,
St.
St.
Vincent
Vincent de Paul.
and my sister's place up in Gainesville.
Yes, my sister's place is a great,
So they just take donations of clothing?
yes.
Clothing and furniture.
Mhm.
They don't have a big space for furniture, but they do take knickknacks and stuff.
There's another one out of,
It's up off of that, or down from the mall.
oh,
It's up
okay.
in that mall area.
There's another one called Inspire that's in Gwinnett that I have given to before. They'll tell you what they will and won't take, you know. They don't need coffee makers, they need, dishes and stuff like that. I mean, when I signed up, I had to tell them what I had and they said, yes, it would take it.
Well, they
Okay.
come and pick it up too.
Yeah.
They leave the big pink bags on your mailboxes.
Oh, okay.
Give you a day that they'll pick it up. And
Whoa. I'm running behind here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that wasn't you, it's me. Y'all have just, I've said to myself 27 times, I need to go meet the lady next door. That you have given me the impetus to make that happen. So, and a big thing that I'd like for you to remember, we talk about the fruit of the Spirit. Joy is a fruit of the Spirit. It is not and has little to do with feeling happy. True joy. So going back to my sermons for the last 3 weeks, we started with hope. And we have hope because God is present within us and has promised us Jesus Christ. We have peace when we turn everything negative that is within us over to God and allow Him the room to reside within us. And joy is a part of that. Joy, you can be filled with joy and as sad as can be. When the joy is claiming, when you can say, my joy is in the Lord. He walks with me and will accompany me on this journey of sadness that I'm on, or whatever it is. But it's the joy, like Mary, there she is, 13 years old, thinking I can be stoned, had to be scared to death to tell her parents, had to be scared to death to tell Joseph. And yet she was filled with the joy of the Lord, enough that she committed herself. And Mary's song and the pink candle are dedicated to this one who had no idea what her future was going to look like. Let's just say everybody was perfectly okay. She got no no negative feedback, all of that. And then so you're pregnant and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to give birth to the child of God. What does that look like? Yeah.
In your sermon on Sunday, you said joy begins when we let God in. I think that's what you said.
Yeah. Joy begins when we let God in. When we stop trying to do it all, as opposed to sitting down, spending a few minutes saying, God, show me what you want me, what is important for me to do. So, joy is rooted in faithfulness, ours, and claiming God's faithfulness to us. So I think it's important to realize that it goes both ways. All of these do. God's peace goes both ways. When we feel God's peace within us, imagine the peace that God feels knowing that His child has calmed down. When we feel hope for our futures because we've allowed God's hope to fill us, imagine the hope that God feels that this will make my child claim to be mine. And today, then, joy, God is joyfully celebrating every one of these little acts that we talked about that seem inconsequential but are not. And one, it's okay, we've got 8 minutes. Joy has to wait sometimes. Sometimes, imagine the joy that using Mary and 9 months of being the Magnificat, she was about 3 months pregnant, it's thought, when she sang that song. And her joy, she's got hope, she has faith, but that final joy, sometimes we don't see the answer right away. We are called to remain joyful, but we don't always see the big answer until the labor pains start. And oftentimes there are labor pains of some kind or another caught up in that. Just understanding that most all of this is a two-way street. We watch for instances in this next couple weeks where you see joy happening. Not that you're not necessarily a part of, but where you see joy happening. And ponder on them as Mary pondered in her heart on that little bit of joy. I have been just rolling over and over in my mind when James saw the little Jesus, how excited he was about that. And then, Nana, do you think we could buy some so I can leave them when I go places? I mean, that's just, yeah, like I say, Nana would take another job if she had to. And remember, our world is so messed up. So pray that others, and this would have been very much the case during Mary's time, their world was as messed up as ours is, that others would find the joy of the Lord. And the joy of the Lord does not rest in things, but in knowing that God is in your midst. And then one final thought. Joy is oftentimes very quiet. It comes to us in the quiet moments of prayer, in those little nudges, while the two of you are signing Christmas cards, or Mary Ellen with the stockings. Joy can and does coexist with sorrow. The joy of the Lord. Our sorrow does not diminish. Joy does not diminish because of our sorrow. Joy is still there. We have to open up to allow it to come in. And it's not, I'll be the first one to tell you, it's not an easy thing to do. But it can and does happen. So, and joy should teach us to trust. Joy should call us to deeper and more prayer. Joy should be connected to gratitude. And when people tell you, feel joyful, it's Christmas, remember there's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is our human selves. True joy is God resting in your heart. Opening the door to your heart and saying, I'm coming in. And what joy should never be is a burden. Joy should never be a burden. So if you feel like you're being called to do something that just is making your teeth stand on edge, God doesn't work that way. He doesn't want me to stand up in front of the Super Bowl and sing. we'd blow every circuit. Because that's not who I am. But what God wants you to do is magnify your soul with who you are and what you can do. Okay. Well, let's have a closing prayer and then we'll have lunch. Gracious and loving God, I thank you for today, for this beautiful group of folks that really, truly love you. Let your joy flow into their hearts. Let their morning start out with, my soul will magnify you today, God. And let them recognize how much in return your love flows down on them. Bring us back safely next week, where we will come to understand the joy of being loved by you even more than we do today. It is in your Son's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
So we are meeting next Tuesday, right?
Yes.
23rd.
Yes.
I'll put it on my calendar.